Hey everybody, I'm back from a couple week hiatus. I had a really busy week a couple weeks ago, and then I had my wisdom teeth pulled last Friday. Doing really well from that, and hitting it back this week, and had an hour or two here to quickly spend creating a new video. And today at lunch, I attended a webinar for Mobify, specifically regarding WordPress. And it wasn't really anything specific to WordPress. It was more about how to do Mobify, but the good thing about Mobify is that it doesn't matter if you're using WordPress. It doesn't matter if you're using Drupal. You can just put a couple lines of JavaScript at the top of your head and output a mobile view. So right now I'm in the CSS editor simulating the size of the iPhone. And but let me go back for those of you who didn't see my first review of Mobify, where you choose what you want from the page. They have this real nice interface here where you choose the elements that you want from your page to go into your design view. So these are all the things I want to show up on a mobile site, on a mobile device. And this is the CSS associated to it, a much reduced, beautifully small CSS file that they've rendered automatically, and I've just added a few things to the bottom here. I added a custom block. They allow you to put additional HTML that's not on your regular site into this mobile view, so you can really customize it. Take out the extemporaneous stuff that you don't need, put in stuff that you do, order the content, and from here on out, it's going to keep the same structure as long as you don't do a major restructure of the design on your site. It's going to keep the same structure that you set up here, and it's going to update the content. So I was wrong in my first review, and I apologize. Um, I thought that it was kind of copying the content and making one for each page, and so I was worried that you'd have to make one for every single page, and it wouldn't work well for WordPress and Drupal, but it works fantastically actually. And if you want to have a separate theme template for a directory of your blog or a particular directory structure, like all of the comments, all of the categories, etc., you can have a separate theme for that. Otherwise, it's just going to use this main one for all of the pages. So let me show you real quick. Well, first let me show you the actual site. It's one I just released this last week for a client, www.cascadeac.com. Yeah, I need to change that right up there. But it's a WordPress site. No, it doesn't really look like it. These are custom post types right here, and this is a special page down here that they can edit the footer. So this is what it looks like on the desktop, and I've made this really quick, very ugly, but utilitarian view in mobile, and it's super small in size, super fast loading, and it has all of the content that you need. A couple of the times there's some tables within the content that you need to scroll a tiny bit, but overall it has everything that's on the site, and it's updated perfectly. That one was a direct link, an absolute URL. So if you want to make sure that they're always on the mobile site from then on, you just add to your header file these 2 lines of JavaScript that Mobify gives you, and it forwards them to the mobile version that Mobify houses for you. And there's some paid options with Mobify where you can have your own domain name. You could do m.yourdomainname.com or mobile.yourdomainname.com or yourdomainname.com.mobi, any combination of that. But it's going to forward over to that new site. So I'm a big fan of this. I think it's a really good option. You know, there's no plugin, there's no theme to put into WordPress. It's way smaller, tremendously smaller than WP Touch as far as load times and how much processing your browser needs to do. So if you spend the time, the guy from Mobify today said he spent about 4 to 5 hours in general making a pretty decent CSS file that styles the whole site. You know, I just spent a few minutes making the navigation a tiny bit bigger and separating them, making them float left, these list items. But obviously you would spend some time colorizing those. You put some CSS3 in there for the iPhone and others that can do rounded corners, etc. And I did make a custom image for the top here. It's not exactly the right size and it doesn't work for landscape view, etc. But if you did spend that 4 or 5 hours creating really nice CSS, this is a really fantastic way to go, and I'd recommend highly that you check into it and do a couple tests on your own. Thanks very much, everybody. Talk to you soon.